Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. You must have heard wild stories and hunting myths about the depths of the woods. From the ruins of an abandoned government facility deep in the woods, to mummified mammals hanging on branches deep in the jungle, we're here with our list of 10 creepiest things found deep in the woods. Number 10. Cow tongues. Yes, you heard that right. There have been many incidents reported about cow tongues getting nailed to the trees in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. The first incident was reported back in 2009, when 15 cow tongues were reported to be found nailed to trees about 6 feet off the ground. We know what you gotta be thinking. Why would someone do that? Sadly, the culprit was never found, but this pattern of behavior continued until at least 2016, when more cow tongues were found in the same area by a woman who was with her daughter of 3 years old. This time, it was creepier than ever. The tongues were found to be sewn together and stuck repeatedly with needles. The experts suggested that this might be part of some voodoo ritual. Some even say that this involves a spell that keeps the witness from confessing in court. I guess we should stick to hiring lawyers for our cases.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Toad with no head. We don't remember anything being creepier than something with no head. But how could something stay alive without a head? This toad's going to surprise you, as it, you guessed it, has no head. A student from the University of Massachusetts discovered an adult toad in the forest of Connecticut back in 2016. The toad was jumping around without its head. The adult toad had a healthy body, with legs, but the place where its head was supposed to be, there was just a stump covered in smooth tissue. There were no eyes, nose, or even jaws, just a small hole. The video of this toad was posted online, which left the scientists baffled, as there was no possible explanation for this happening until a wildlife veterinarian suggested that some fly must have laid eggs in it and the larvae would have eaten its flesh and head. But why it is still alive without a head would always be a mystery. Number 8. Clowns. Clowns have become one of the creepiest fascinations for people. Since Stephen King published It in 1986, and the other clown horror movies that have prevailed, clowns have become one of the scariest creatures around. But you would never want to see a clown in the woods. Greenville, South Carolina has become home to clown sightings in the woods. The first report was by the local school teacher, who claimed that his students were approached by a clown who offered them large amounts of money if they accompanied him into the woods. This was first not believed, until some adults even reported clowns to be seen at different places. The culprit was never identified, but these clown sightings continued and were even reported into nearby states. This time, it was said that these clowns offered candy to kids, but kids were luckily smart enough not to get trapped. Number 7. Abandoned government facility. The creepiest place that has recently been discovered by an urban explorer, along with his cameraman, is an abandoned government facility. The whereabouts of this place were never revealed, and this was for the best, as no one must go looking out for such creepy areas. It was opened in 1990, but abruptly closed in 2014. It was so sudden that the files and other office stuff could still be found on the tables. It seemed as though the people there just picked up their stuff and left in a hurry. You know what's creepier though? The basement with yellow police tape blocking off most areas. Most of the stuff has already been cleaned up, but something strange has happened here. A giant crate with some mysterious schematics. There are still many hidden mysteries in this place, and no one knows where to look for answers. Number 6. Hanging coffins. There is nothing as haunted as walking into some burial ground deep in the forest. If you ever visit the Philippines and wander into the wood, you might come across a place with a collection of hanging coffins. These coffins are nailed to the side of a cliff face. You've got to be thinking that they should be empty, right? Well, no. These coffins are filled with bones and bodies. Rather than following the normal burial process, the Sagita people of Philippines hang their coffins in the air. They believe that by doing this, there's a greater possibility that their souls would reach the afterlife after death. This bizarre ritual has been going on for over 2,000 years. Bizarre for us, but not for them. Number 5. A haunted grave. Cemeteries are haunted. You must have heard some scary stories related to your nearby graveyard. You should let us know about them in the comments below. Back in 2015, a hiker felt something strange about one of the gravestones. The hiker was walking down through the hills near Santa Cruz, California. The gravestone was isolated from other graves and was deep in the woods. Why would someone dig a grave that deep in such an isolated place? Later on, after the investigation started, scientists were able to date the grave to the 1890s. The local historian unveiled some of the creepiest facts about this. The tombstone found was of a prostitute named Mary Holmes, who arrived in Santa Cruz from England in 1897. Before she started working as a prostitute, she struggled with major mental health problems. She was separated from her daughter and was not able to come out of this pain. The situation spiraled out of control when she burned all of her letters, ran through the town center, drank a bottle of carbolic acid from her handbag, and collapsed on the street. She died just 15 minutes later. Her story was long forgotten until this tombstone was discovered by the hiker. Number 4. The giant web. If you disagree when we say that everything is bigger in Texas, then check out these trees completely shrouded in spider webs. This might remind you of the Spider-Man movie when a giant web was created in between the two buildings, but we're talking about the real world here. The web-covered trees were discovered at the Lake Tabaconi State Park, which is located about 30 miles from the town of Roller. It seemed as though the spiders were able to work together to weave this type of large communal web. This was shocking, as spiders have been known to work alone. The first giant web was found back in 2007, and the spiders which worked together were estimated to be more than 1,000. But one good news about this is that the spiders were found to be harmless to humans. But thinking about walking into the woods where there are large webs and thousands of spiders would give a heart attack to even the bravest of souls. Number 3. Giant snake. Snakes are creepy crawling creatures, and these reptiles would make anyone lose their mind. You would never want to encounter any enormous snake, unless you're Harry Potter. I mean, he can talk to them at the very least. But here we're not talking about fiction. Westbrook is a small town in Maine. During the summers back in 2016, the residents reported encounters with snakes as large as trucks, with the head as big as a basketball. These reports were not believed until an officer witnessed a strange happening. The snake was seen eating a large mammal, most probably a beaver, but he failed to snap a photo. Later on, a hiker found a molted skin of a snake next to the river, which was about 12 feet long. The skin was tested, and it was found out that the snake was an anaconda, native to the Amazon. This was terrifying, as the distance between this town and the Amazon was more than 4,000 miles. These creatures cannot bear temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which prompts the question, how exactly did this creature find its way to this faraway land? The whereabouts of this snake were never found by the locals. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. And similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. Number 2. Subscriber pick. Our subscriber picture today shows some animal body that's been mummified while hanging up in a tree branch. This mummified koala was discovered draped across tree branches, blackened sickeningly. But there's no backstory to this koala turning this way. What caused this mummification was never identified. However, from the pictures, it can be said that the koala was suspended in the trees just above the water. This was suggested that the salt could have caused this whole creepy happening. No matter what the reason behind it is, this is not just the koala that you would want to hug, as this was slimy in texture and full of bugs and other insects. Number 1. Alien remains. On November 9th, 2015, a San Jose resident heard a scream and ran around the side of her house. What she found was pretty disturbing. There was some mutated creature lying dead on the ground. This creature had 2 legs and a weird body structure. The image was posted online and it went viral. There were suggestions that this creature was not from Earth. What was even more disturbing was that the week prior to this incident, there had been hundreds of UFO sightings in this same area. The government remained silent on this controversy of the mysterious creature. Some even said that it was just a prank, but it was confirmed that the body was composed of real organic tissues. What do you guys think the creature was? Well, that concludes our list of the 10 creepiest things found in the deep woods. Which one do you think is the creepiest of all? Comment down below to let us know. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay up to date with our latest videos. We'll see you next time.